Well, hello, hello, and more hello to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojopah Maria and Taroma coming to you with a special report about the awesome astrology of July 21st. And on that full moon day, we get the rise of Kamala Harris for President of the United States. So, wow. This month has been just full of so many twists and turns and unexpected things going on. So I'm just now getting to a day where I have time and space to get this information out to you. And I'm not even doing it as a live stream. I'm having to do it as a YouTube premiere because I have more astrological information to share with you today, which I may do as a live stream. I also may premiere it. But in any event, let's get down to understanding how powerful July 21st, 2024 was according to the astrological aspects that occurred. Now, usually you'll get like one, maybe two aspects on a day. But this was not only a day of a full moon, and it's the second full moon that we've had in Capricorn, which I'll talk about. But also there were like 4 planetary aspects going on. Yeah, like that's really huge. That's a lot of shifting and moving cosmically. And part of the impact of that is what has happened with and for Kamala Harris and the United States. So let me dive into this for you. Sunday, July 21st, 2024. We first had this Venus in Leo sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. And as it says here, our popularity increases today as the social aspect can make us the life of any party. This is a great time to be the center of attention. So use it to your advantage by getting gifts, information, and followers. Yeah. Really quite interesting and definitely applicable to the endorsement and to the fundraising that happened for Kamala on this day. Next, we have Mercury in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. And squares, of course, are always kind of a tight energy. And this says big egos can easily get bruised today. It's not a great day for going out, as the world seems a little colder and meaner than you would like. And of course, that applies to several persons I can think of in celebrity status and political status. But again, just very interesting that this aspect also showed up on the 21st. Now, next we get the Sun in Cancer trining Neptune, which is currently still retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And this trine is a flow energy that says a good aspect for looking at the world with an understanding eye as we become more empathetic, compassionate, and caring for the struggles of others. Be gentle with yourself and others as we allow ourselves to truly feel our deepest emotions. Yeah, very interesting. If you think back to that Sunday, you know, that kind of energy definitely was floating around. Yeah. And then this 4th aspect was Mars in Gemini trining Pluto, which is retrograde right now in Aquarius. So again, when you think of Mars and Pluto, you know, the 2 warrior kind of gods, or, you know, Pluto being more about transformation, that can be painful. You don't necessarily think of them being in a trine, in a flow energy, but definitely they were. And it says, while this aspect can bring intensity to our relationships, it gives us the strength and demeanor to make positive changes in our lives. Some of us might even step into leadership roles now. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Very, very fascinating and interesting. And I've left the full moon information last because it is so much of it. Like I had, I think 5 astrologers who I was sifting through to just bring the information, break it down to you in a manageable, edible way, because I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot. So yeah. And it just all makes sense. It just all makes sense. So let me dive into that for you about this full moon in Capricorn. For the second time this year, the first was in June, the moon becomes full in the sign of the sea goat, giving us all a round of applause and cheering on our success. There's a strong possibility of receiving the recognition you deserve and reaching those achievements of which you've been dreaming. Now, if that isn't directly to Kamala, I don't know what is. Now, here's what's interesting too about the aspects related to this full moon. As it says, this particular full moon in Capricorn has some very interesting astral signatures. The full moon is at 29 degrees Capricorn, and it's conjunct Pluto at 0 degrees. And I'll talk about the degree stuff in just a second. The full moon is engaged in 2 aspects, a sextile with Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces, and a trine to Mars at 0 degrees Gemini. We again find the 29th degree, the last degree of the sign, and the 0 degree, the first degree of the sign. And in a nutshell, we can think of this as endings and beginnings. Endings and beginnings. And, you know, usually full moons are like a culmination of what you started with a new moon. But for it also to have this 0 degree astral signature associated with it, the start of something new, yeah. So that's really, really powerful. Let's go on. There's some more. Full moon in Capricorn, 100% commitment. And I got this from Astrobutterfly. She says, this 100% commitment is what I see as a sacred passage from the 29th degree of Capricorn to 0 degrees of Aquarius. August full moon will be in Aquarius. This 100% commitment has the potential to create a breakthrough and miraculously change our lives. At the full moon in Capricorn, you can finally break free from old patterns and models to embrace change. Wow. There's something magical about 100% commitment. Not 99%, not even 99.9%, but 100%. When we are 100% committed, we are all in. Failing is not an option. When we are 100% committed, we connect ourselves to the fabric of the universe, and the universe begins to conspire to help us achieve our goal. Wow. Some more. Full moon in Capricorn and how it's related to the 2020 shift. I truly feel, says Astrobutterfly, this is one of the most important full moons we've had in a long time. It activates some very important degrees of the zodiac, as we talked about the 0 and the 29, that have been pivotal for our collective journey. 29 degrees Capricorn is where Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter were positioned in 2020 during the pandemic, marking a significant movement of transformation and societal upheaval. 0 degrees Aquarius, where a new 20-year Jupiter-Saturn synodic cycle started on December 21st, 2020, marking the beginning of a 200-year air, meaning air sign era for the zodiac. Full on opening to the age of Aquarius is what I inserted there. It's powerful. It's just absolutely powerful. And there's more. Full moon in Capricorn, release and embrace. This is from Lena Stevens of the Power Path. We are being called to notice what is blocking us from our true potential and the ability to manifest, as well as to notice where we need to embrace taking more responsibility for our lives. It is a good moon for acknowledging completions, releasing limitations, and embracing a new vision. I just got to read that one more time. It is a good moon for acknowledging completions, releasing limitations, and embracing a new vision. Fears that are related to your attachment to concrete beliefs and physical structures in your life may surface at this time. It is important not to get distracted by them, but rather to focus on the potential for growth, transformation, and new perceptions. Wow. Wow. Yeah. What can I say? Oh, yes, there's more. In the native traditions, this moon would have been called the buck moon. So here's the spiritual meaning of the buck moon. The buck moon is a nickname given to full moons that take place in July. And it's named for the fact that the male deer antlers typically reach the peak of their growth at this point in the summer. Spiritually, you can think of the fullness of the buck's antlers as a metaphor for harnessing your full potential. Wow. This energy symbolizes our own patterns of shedding past layers of ourselves to become a new version of ourselves. It's a time not only to step into your spiritual purpose, but also part ways with the practices, thought patterns, and habits that keep you from actualizing your full manifestations. July 21st, 2024. Yeah, absolutely. So, in case you didn't know, it also marked a turning point for what it is that Kamala Harris represents. And for me, it's really about this shift away from the dominance mentality in our culture. Also, it impacts the globe, where there is, in the United States, for the very first time, a true possibility of a woman becoming president of the United States. And not just a woman, but a Black woman. And not just a Black woman, but a Black Asian woman. This is pretty huge in terms of all of the consciousness shifting up that is going on. And I was among the thousands of Black women who got a call or a text to say, it's 8 o'clock, by 8:30, be on the Zoom. By the time I got to the Zoom, it was shut out. And what happens is the COO of Zoom actually opened up the gateway to go from 1,000 participants to 40,000. Yeah. And I'm one of the ones that wasn't a part of the 40,000. But so there's probably like 12,000 more of us that didn't get on the call. But within a 3-hour period, 1,500,911,042 got raised. And as I said, this is about what Kamala represents and the importance of us being in a time where we're moving out of a dominant structure, a hierarchical structure where only certain people or certain genders or certain ideas can be considered valuable and important to how the world works. So, yeah, this is really significant in terms of what happened and how people responded. There were also 2 days later, white women Kamala, I think they raised something like 8 million, and then there were, or 4 million, and then there were white dudes for Kamala, white men for Kamala that happened maybe another 3 days later, and I think they raised something like 8 million. And again, the significance here is about the fact that people are responding to the shift. We truly are in a time of great change, and there's no going back. There's just no going back. Yeah. And as I always remind you, this is 2024. This is its energy swirling us around, throwing things out, in, around, and through, so that we can really move forward into this new earth, into this new age, and take care of our planet and not destroy it. Yeah. And just a quick plug for my book. And I wish you a wonderful day. As I said, I will be putting out astrology for the last half of July with some nods to what's coming up with the new moon on August 4th. And again, I hope all of this is of great service to you as you continue to navigate through this amazing year. Be well, be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.